All right, all right. Well, that was quite a spot, Rajeev. So, welcome to Accelerate Live. We have a great program planned for you today. Our topic: thriving in a human-enabled, AI-powered world. And we have with us today Jimmy Burgess and our very own Rajeev Sajja. Today, we are going to dive deep into the future of real estate with actionable insights on leveraging AI and video to elevate your business to stand out in today's market. For everyone joining us by Zoom, stay on till the end. We have a giveaway. 1031 Corp has generously provided an outstanding prize, ChatGPT-4 for a year. Put what you learned today to use with this prize. Okay, so let's get started. Rajeev, no last name needed, needs no introduction with our group. He is our SVP of Digital Marketing and our very own in-house guru on all things AI. You get his weekly video tip on actionable things you can do to be growing and managing your business. Jimmy Burgess, my good friend Jimmy from Florida, is the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Beach Properties of Florida, where he oversees more than 260 real estate professionals with over $2.1 billion in annual sales volume. He's located in the Panhandle of Florida, Northwest Florida. He hosts the Real Estate Sales Podcast, where he interviews top producers and shares sales tips for real estate agents. You can find more of his training on his YouTube channel, Real Estate Sales Growth, where he has over 500 videos sharing ideas and strategies to help agents build the business of their dreams. Jimmy and Rajeev, this is quite a bio, guys. Jimmy and Rajeev also have a podcast together called Real Estate AI Flash, which covers everything you need to effectively leverage AI, ChatGPT, and other generative AI tools in your real estate career. It is my pleasure to have Rajeev and Jimmy with us today. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, Larry. Rajeev, I don't think Larry read all. I mean, didn't we send about 10 pages for bio?
I think he used ChatGPT to summarize it for like 6 lines.
I know.
We had to cut it down, guys. We had to cut it down.
That was great. That was great. Hey, let me, before we even get started, as someone who gets the opportunity to spend a lot of time with a lot of different BHHS companies, I know sometimes when we're in the midst of it, you don't realize what the gift you have. As Larry said, he and I become friends, and I will tell y'all, Larry is one that I watch to see, and sometimes I will ask myself, what would Larry do in leading this organization? So just thank you, Larry, for having us. And then I will just say this: whatever we do, protect Rajeev at all costs. He is absolutely not only the smartest person I know when it comes to technology and marketing and everything that he does, but he's a true student and has a heart of service like very few people I know. So I'm excited to be with you guys today, and we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff to share today.
Yeah, we're going to kick it off, Larry. So Jimmy, I'm going to start our slides and really talk about, I think let's kind of set the stage on what today is about. I had a quote that really stuck with me recently that said, our perspective is our prison or our passport. And today, I'm hoping many people that are watching, listening to us, come with the perspective of a curiosity. How can we best leverage AI responsibly? Because there is going to be separation season, right? So let's kind of talk a little bit about that, Jim.
Yeah, and when we're talking about the separation season, I think it's a couple of different things. We've got a separation season as far as this revolutionary technology that we have now that I believe is going to affect not just our real estate business, but our lives in such a powerful way in the future. Also, we're in a time period economically where we're in that shift. And it's almost like, there are seasons in life, there's seasons in economies, there's seasons in our business. And it's not a matter of if spring will follow winter. It's how long will the winter last and how cold might it be? And we are definitely looking towards spring now, in my opinion, as far as our businesses are concerned. Our friend David Childers basically said it this way. Rajeev, I know he's mentioned this to you as well, but he told me one time that he grew up with a father who loved race car driving. And what is told him when he got out of college, he was going into business, he said, you have to understand, David, that when there's a straightaway, everybody's a professional driver, because all they have to do is just bury their feet into the floorboard, so to speak, and go as fast as they can. There's not a lot of obstacles. It's just go as fast as you can, as straight as you can. That would be kind of the pandemic market that we saw, where the market was just wide open. You just put your foot to the floor and you absolutely go there. But you have to understand that true professionals and the separation season out, especially when it comes to racing and in life, is in the turns. So here we are in a turn. So what do people do? Basically in the turn, or this during the separation season, is the first thing they do is before they get to the turn, they downshift. They slow down just a little bit to figure out what is the technology available? Where is the support? What are the tools? What are the people I need to spend time with? And then they pick a direction, or basically a line in that turn. And then when everybody else gets nervous, because the majority of the crashes in race cars happen in the turns when people panic and they either hit the brakes or they don't have a good line and they run into the wall. Once those pros pick that line after they've downshifted, they actually accelerate through that turn. And when they come out on the other side, they're so far ahead of everybody that when it comes straightaways, because straightaways are always right around the corner, they actually, once everybody puts their foot to the door, they're so far ahead of everybody that it gives them that. And that's what we're going to do today, is to share some of this technology that will help you really separate yourself from everybody else in your local market and put you as the professional of choice.
Yeah, and when we talk about agents, I think over time, in the next couple of years, there'll be three types of agents as far as AI is concerned. One that's not using AI. People just think that I just don't want to touch it because they're fearful. It's too much going on. And the second one is basic AI. They're just kind of using it, dabbling in it. But today, Jimmy and I put so much content into this presentation that we're going to empower you to become skilled with AI with one purpose: to help your business grow. Save time and or money. So hopefully you want to get on that journey with us and you have a passport and you're not in prison today. So let's talk a little bit about foundation, Jimmy, before we get to specific aspects of what we want to cover today. So, and we'll share a playbook at the end of it. All of the visuals you see here and then some are all in our real estate AI playbook. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But we believe anything you do, it's true with real estate, right? Solid foundation is everything. These are the 4 Ps we talk about. When we talk about the 4 Ps, it's prime. And what is prime? Prime is simply giving some information around roles, inputs, description, and context. We have a slide. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Then you talk about prompting. The only things all of these AI tools know is prompt. But if you only learn prompts and not learn the other pieces, I don't think you're developing a good foundation. And the purpose of that, once you start to prompt it, remember, the other thing is it's got to be responsible use of AI. So AI is not a real estate agent. People watching and listening are. So you got to polish it in your own voice. And then once you're satisfied, you publish it. So let's look at briefly about, we did a whole episode on this foundational stuff, but prime goes, the 4 things go into prime: role, input, steps, and expectation. Let's take a quick example. Let's say you want to do something with social media and you want ChatGPT to help you. Role could be act as a social media marketer with deep real estate marketing experience. That could be a role. And input, what are you looking for? Give some relevant information. My audience is first-time home buyers or homeowners. Give as much context. And the good part about this is, as Jimmy always says, you can't break this thing, okay? So you're going to learn effective prompting, and that's, everybody's got a phone, Jimmy, but some people do really good videos with their phone because they've learned the skill, and the same thing goes with AI, right? You got to learn the skill so that you can do good work with the tool you have. Steps, ask for detailed instructions. Expectations, what could be give me output in a table form or a conversational form. All of that goes into the priming before you even ask to prompt it. So we're covering the basics on the foundation, but the playbook will get into in-depth, and listen to our episode on the foundation so you can get really in-depth on it. And this will apply to any AI tool you use. And before we move forward, any comments there, Jimmy?
Yeah, no, I would just say that as we go through this, we're going to try to go from 101, 201, a little bit of 301, but keep it as basic as we can for everybody, because just start where you are. Wherever that is for you, just start. You're not going to break it. So keep asking questions, continue to learn how to prompt, and become a student of this, and you will absolutely have the opportunity to separate yourself.
All right, here's 201.
Yeah. Now, let me mention this. Social media is the new CRM, because it is a place, as we know, that people are spending a lot of time. And so as we're utilizing social media, we have to understand that social media is now driven by artificial intelligence, the quote unquote algorithm. Now, here's the change that happened just last year in about February, at least it was announced at that point. It used to be that Facebook and Instagram, all of Meta, was basically driven by who are you connected to? So for Facebook, for instance, I have a lot of people that I went to high school with at the little small town high school I went to. And then I have some people I'm connected to that I'm selling, or I used to sell Gulf front homes to for, $4+ million homes. Well, the people that I am connected with on Facebook, which I have my past in common with, are not necessarily the people that would be interested in a $4 million house. This is why what happens with Facebook, what used to happen with Facebook and Instagram, is they would put your information in front of a small portion of your connected people. And if they responded, they would put it in front of more. Well, then you had TikTok come along. What happened when TikTok came along is the algorithm for TikTok was built on what is it that you watch, or what is it that you're into. Of that. That's why it's so addictive, is it's showing you that. So as we go through this, understand there was a shift where Instagram and Facebook last year, where basically now they are utilizing the TikTok method, so to speak, where whatever it is that you look at or whatever you search for, they're going to give you more of that type of content. So we now have the ability to reach outside of just the people we're connected with. So I'll go into that and show especially one term here. So I'm going to show you an example of this. If that's okay. Rajeev, you want to add anything before I do that?
No, keep going. I think that's good stuff.
Okay, so I want to show you some things, and think of it from this perspective. How do we prime, so to speak, the actual algorithm or the AI on social media to generate more information? I'm going to show you this example, then I'm going to tell you as an agent how you can apply this. First off is with Instagram, anytime you can use any of Instagram's tools, it likes it because it gives you the ability to tie into their tools. The more you're tied into their tools, the more that you're utilizing them, the more that you're putting content out like they like and that they're promoting, the more you're going to have the algorithm's attention. So here's what I did. I used a green screen video. Now, if you're wondering about how to do this, this is the beautiful time that we live in. You can go into Google or ChatGPT if you've got the paid version, or Gemini, whatever you're using, and simply say, tell me how to do a green screen video on Instagram, and it will give you step-by-step instructions. So I don't want to get bogged down in that, but just know, basically what I did is I snapshotted, in this case, one of the articles that I'd recently done. I just posted the article, the green screen recording in Instagram, and I just said, hey, this is the article that I wrote this week, where David Childers talks about, from Keeping Current Matters, exactly what agents should be doing in this marketplace, also what they should be thinking, and how to win in this market environment. If you'd like those details, his slides and all that information, just comment KCM down in the comments below, and we'll send them to your DMs. Now, here's the reason why we did the call to action. And I'm going to show you a tool we use, but you can do it on your own to start with. The thing that I was doing is asking for a part of call to action, because engagement is what the algorithm is looking for. The more people that are engaging with a post that you have, a reel that you have, or a story that you have, the more likely it is that it's going to want to put that in front of other people. So by asking for the comment, that was one thing that we did. We automated this, which I'll show you the tool in just a second. But to begin with, we were doing it by hand. And basically, once somebody put KCM in the comments, we said, check your DMs. Now, we had 2 comments, 2 things that we were doing as far as engagement. Then we sent them a direct message with the details. In that, we said, and by the way, let us know if you received it so that we know that you got everything you need. They then respond back in the direct message, which is a more personalized type of communication with those folks. So now we've got the engagement of them saying, yes, I received it. So we've got 4 comments, 2 that are very specific in the DMs, 2 that are there, and the algorithm is all of a sudden saying, wait a minute, people are engaging with this. Let me show it to more people. Also, what it does is, because it's being engaged with, it gives us the ability to reach out to a new and a fresh audience. Because if you look at my Instagram, I've only got about 7,500 followers. Well, look at this post. It actually had 35,000 accounts that it reached. Only 1,800 were those that were connected to me. 33,000 were outside of this. And you can see, well, I think you can see it over here. It had 101 as of this post, the time I took this photo, 101 people, 52,100 people that it reached. Now, here's how you can use this as a local agent, okay? Let's say, and understand your own market. I'm going to just tell you what we have here. We have 48 hours that from the time that we announce it as a coming soon, or we put it in our MLS, until it goes live. It still shows as coming soon. What we started doing locally is we're saying, we've got a great 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, for example, that is getting ready to come on the market in 48 hours. However, if you'd like the details before the general market sees this, simply comment new listing in the comments below, and we'll direct message you the details. It's priming the pump, so to speak. And now those people that are doing that, they're raising their hand and telling us they're interested in a house in our area. So it's giving us the ability, by them commenting, by us direct messaging that information, it's priming the algorithm pump, so to speak, and it's getting us the ability to capture some more of those folks. We've also been testing this with local market updates, where we're talking about the local market update, where instead of just putting that out there, we're simply saying, here we are at the end of the first quarter, really interesting details of some things that we're seeing right now. If you'd like to have all those details, just comment down below whatever word we say, and we'll DM you the full report as well as a video going over this. We're seeing that this is getting us the ability to capture some leads and also get an outburst as far as the type of lead generation we're having, and we're reaching a bigger audience. So this is a great tool. ManyChat, I think, is the next slide, Rajeev. That's the tool we use. You can do this on your own to start with, but basically it is a bot that is set up to where if someone makes a comment, it will automatically reply. And then the next step is it will automatically do those things. So if you're wondering how we can have, in this case, 2,612 real interactions without driving ourselves crazy, ManyChat is the tool that we used, and this kind of shows those keyword triggers, automated response. It increases engagement, and it increases your lead capture. All right, Rajeev, I'm going to take a breath.
And I think ManyChat is free up to 1,000 contacts. So you should start with free stuff. And then as you start to gain momentum, you know that it's going to be very valuable for your business. This is awesome. I think this is one of our top 5 AI tools that we recommend.
Absolutely.
For automation and engagement. So it works with Instagram, obviously. It works with Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and other channels are coming soon. So depending on where your audience is, this is a keeper for sure. So let's talk a little bit about agents create a lot of social media. They struggle with creating it regularly with a cadence. And the more you do properly, again, it's the algorithm, right? You're posting more, you're creating more engagement. So we're going to show you how you could streamline your social media and create 30 days or even 100 days worth of posts in 5 minutes. Now, I don't know how long it takes somebody, Jimmy, to create a social media post, even if you have access to tools that any company offers. So we're going to walk you through a simple setup and how you do that very simply. And we'll follow up with a video of if you need some help with this. But what are people searching for? Is a good place to start for some things to go viral, right? Now, agents today are getting asked, hey, what is the value of this, value of buyer agent? So if you get a lot of questions from your clients, that may be a good one to do also. But a good tool we're going to show you is answerthepublic.com. Free tool. And what it does, just like Google Trends, it shows you what people are searching for on YouTube, Bing, and Google. So as an example, I picked which home improvements add the most value for homeowners. So I picked that as a topic. I then put it into ChatGPT, and I simply said, create 30 ideas for home improvement. I could have very easily said 90 and get 3 months worth, but I did 30, and it gave me 30 there. I only showed 10 in the interest of what we can show, but it gave me 30. And then I simply downloaded it from ChatGPT and uploaded it to Canva Pro, and boom, with my own template, I picked the template, I imported it, and there are I'm showing you a few, but it's 30 Instagram posts or Facebook posts or a combination thereof. And that probably took me, once it's set up, less than 5 minutes. Now, how much time does that save you? A lot. So start to think of what you do today that is a time suck, and how AI can help you. And this is a good example because social media is truly your CRM. If you're not really connecting with your audiences there with good, engaging content, then you're really not playing the game well, and AI can power you with that.
Yeah. And I would say one of the things we've done also, Rajeev, is like with Answer the Public is, so I'm going to just use this as an example. Just type in Princeton real estate, Princeton homes for sale, for instance, and then let it do the search for you. And it's going to tell you what are the exact terms that people are looking for, so that you're not just trying to produce just content to produce content, but you're doing something that people are actually looking for. And you're using those keywords will help them find you as well. So that's a great tool as well.
Yeah. All right. Here's one of the key areas for Jimmy Burgess to share how he locks down the listing appointment.
I think I saw somebody mention this. Basically, this is what I have termed the Chick-fil-A on Sunday listing presentation, AI listing presentation. And the reason being is that if you will do this, it will absolutely be like Chick-fil-A on Sunday. Closed. You will close these listings. So we're going to go through this. I'm going to show some things. Here's what's crazy is in the last week, and this is why I love working with Rajeev at the end of this, I'm going to show you what I was doing a week ago. I'm going to then show you how quickly this technology and what it is like to get to work with a pro like Rajeev, of how quickly this has been solved for you. So here's the prompt number one. And then I'm going to give you how to present this, okay? You want an MLS description. And so basically we ask it to do that. And if you want these slides, again, as Rajeev mentioned, these will be available for all of you. You don't have to copy these things down. Please act as an expert real estate copywriter specializing in writing MLS descriptions that encourage readers to schedule a showing for your home after reading the MLS description. Here's what we have. If you have the previous description, you would drop it in there. If not, you would just give the bullet points, and Rajeev will show you kind of that as we get to the end. But we're going to get the first MLS description. The next prompt is going to be to ask it to rewrite the MLS description in a more, this case, professional tone. You can use whatever tone you want. I like luxury and professional tones. Then we're going to print all three of these MLS descriptions. We're going to put them in a file. Next step is we're going to say, this is great. And we're going to ask it to give us a I think you can go to the next, if you can. Yeah. Instagram new listing post, where it's going to give us, and then we're going to do the Facebook and then the LinkedIn. These are all asking it to give us SEO optimized Facebook post, Instagram post, also a LinkedIn, and then a video script for YouTube. And what this is going to do is we're going to take all of those, because it's going to give us emojis, hashtags, all the things relevant that we will be doing from a marketing standpoint to launch this video or launch this listing. We're going to put those into our file folder. Then also we're going to ask it to give us 25 unique ways, or as many as you want, unique ways to market this house. Now, you may not do all of these, but we're going to print as many of those as we're going to do on our list, and we're going to put that in the file folder. Now, here's how the listing presentation goes, okay? You're sitting there with Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Yeah, Audrey, this is the one you were talking about. So we'll get these slides to you, either Rajeev or you can just email either one of us and we'll get those to you. So here's how this sits, whether you're sitting at the old school kitchen table for this listing presentation or you're doing it online. I'm going to say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what I want to do is walk you through, because if I was you, I'd want to know how my home was actually going to be marketed. And so what I'd like to do is we know that professional photography and videography is actually going to get people to stop scrolling and stop on your house. But all the research shows that it's the description of the home that moves them from seeing it and liking it, from actually setting an appointment to come see your home. So what I've done is I've used artificial intelligence to give us the most search-worthy terms and descriptions of your home. I've done one of these in a professional tone, one in a luxury tone, and one in just a typical real estate type of tone. I'd love for you to look at these three descriptions, and I'd like for you to see if I've left anything out that should be added. And also, I'd love for you to tell me which one you like best, because odds are the person who buys your home is going to be someone just like you. And so if we can identify which ones you like the best, odds are that's going to be the one that your future buyer is going to like the best as well. They say, yes, I like this one, but you forgot this. Great. We've got them interacting on this. Now, also what I'd want to do if I was you is I would want to know, what is the marketing going to look like? How are we going to launch this, especially in the first 30 days, to where we get as much activity as possible to sell it for the highest price and with the least amount of hassles in the fastest time? So what I've done is again, I'm utilizing the technology that is available at the highest level possible. I've utilized artificial intelligence to help me write a Facebook post announcing this as a new listing and with a strong call to action for people to set an appointment to see this. We would post this with 3 3 to 4 pictures of your home, but this is the Facebook post, emojis and all, with exactly how we're going to attract the right person to your home. Also, I did the same thing with Instagram. Here's that one. Also, here's the 800-word article announcing this for LinkedIn as a blog post, announcing this, where we have a lot of searchable terms in here to help people find your home as we launch it out onto the market, as we launch the marketing on this. Last but not least, this is also a YouTube script that I'll be utilizing to tell the story of your home in a way that captures the search engine capabilities of YouTube and Google, since Google owns YouTube, to make sure that we maximize the exposure for your home. Now, I also want to share with you that this is some of the things we're doing. We are also going to do some additional marketing items. Most agents, when they're sitting out there and they're listing your home, they do the 3 Ps, and we do them too, but let me just show you what those are. They put a sign in the yard, they put it in the MLS, and they pray that the right buyer comes along. Now, let me just say this. We're going to do those things too. But on top of that, here's a list of 15 to 20 unique ways we're going to market your home to make sure we maximize this. Does all of this make sense to you? That listing presentation right there will set you apart from 90% of the people. And literally in 5 minutes of following this, you will have all of these details. That's what it used to be, was 5 minutes. Rajeev, you want to show them what you've done this week and how this technology continues to evolve?
This is moving to 301, but that's Chick-fil-A on Sunday, closed, right? So whatever Jimmy talked about, the 7 prompts, when he shared that with me, you can use this on the free version of ChatGPT because it's just context generation. And here's a promotion for the paid one, because I think, and we both believe it's the steal of the century if you know how to use it. And when you have the paid one, you're exposed to something called custom GPTs. And unlike needing a programmer or a tech person to build it, anyone can build it if you can prompt it. So I took every prompt that Jimmy had up until now, the 7 things he talked about, and I built a custom GPT. If you have a paid subscription today, you can find this custom GPT in the GPT store under Explore GPTs. And it's called the one-click listing presentation plan. And it'll do a few things. It'll write MLS descriptions, all the things Jimmy talked about. So let's look at and every GPT, you can ask this question, what can you do? And here's what it spit out. I'm here to help you with writing the whole plan. And the plan can be whatever you want it to be. I built it to mimic what Jimmy just talked about. And it said, just give me the details of the house. And I'll go to work and generate all 4, 5 things. So here we go, right? So I recorded this so you can kind of see, I entered the address. That's all I gave it, the GPT. I didn't give it, it's almost like priming, and you're priming it. It's already primed. And now you're just prompting it with the address. So I put the address in, and here's what it spit out. It came up with listing descriptions in 3 tones. I said, give me 3: conversational, professional, and luxury. And then it gave me my Instagram posts, 3 tones. Again, this can be customized as you want it. Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, and YouTube scripts, all from giving it the address, because it knows me and exactly what I want. Here's the 30-day marketing plan in a table form, because I like tables. And so that took me over a cup of coffee to build that custom GPT. So as you start to get to AI 301, you can build anything you have. I call it, Jimmy, anything you have a process for, you can build a GPT for. And it will save you a ton of time. So if you're listening or watching this and you have a paid subscription of ChatGPT, go to Explore GPTs, search for this present thing, this is a GPT, or just search for my name. I think there's the only one Rajeev Sajja in the custom GPT store. And you'll find this, and you can use it and give us feedback. And we're going to build more of these to give it to you that have the paid version. And this is a game changer.
No, it's a game changer. When Rajeev showed me this, y'all, you got to understand, Rajeev just showed me this yesterday afternoon. And I said, wow, I did all that work. And now here he's moved it into a one-click basic deal. So I would encourage you, go search this out. You can adjust those also. So you can come in and edit some of these. You could ask it to make those longer MLS descriptions, or more detailed, or a stronger call to action on your post. You can customize these, but this gives you a framework that, I mean, it will set you apart from 90% of the agents that you're going to be in competition with when you're sitting in listing appointments, if you just do these couple of steps. So Good stuff, my friend.
All right, so let's kind of pivot to our top 5 AI tools. We touched on a couple of them, Jimmy, right? The first one clearly for me is ChatGPT on your phone. And we talked about custom GPTs. If you're a paid subscriber or not, you can get ChatGPT on your phone, use the 3.5 version. But if you have the paid one, your custom GPTs flow with you. So you could do all of those things on your phone. And so that's a good one. And Jimmy, you talked about ManyChat. I think you've done a great job on the value of ManyChat. The other one I'm in love with is Perplexity. If I were watching this or listening to this, download that app. It's a free app. The next time you're about to Google something, use Perplexity and use Google, and you'll know what I'm talking about, because you're talking to a human being versus getting 10 links on Google and trying to figure out which one is the right one to click on and learn. Perplexity just gives you the response with, and it's great for research because it gives you all the sources as links. So Perplexity is in my top 5. And the next one, we're talking a lot about video. I mean, Jimmy, you do a lot of YouTube video. The other custom GPT I'm building, by the way, is for YouTube content. Okay, stay tuned for that one. So Opus Pro is a great one to take any long form video property tours you have to make it short. I'm using wizard.ai. It's worthy mention. Same thing, Opus Pro, but try them for free first. And the thing that it does that I love, Jimmy, and I'd love for you to comment on this, it takes your long form video and gives you like 8 to 10 clips that basically rank on a viral scale, 9.7 of 10. So you want to go with that one, and it gives you the copy. You don't have to do anything. AI is working for you. I think most people are good at even creating content, but they don't know how to distribute it to get the maximum impact. And Opus Pro is definitely something that we want to call out on.
Yeah, and so if you're an agent, you're wondering, well, I don't do long form videos, but you do home tours. And so if you've gotten some video of your homes and you drop that in there, the artificial intelligence will actually pull that stuff out. Yeah, so you can see it here. I mean, this was just, we dropped in a walkthrough video, and it gave us all of these different options as far as the different types. It writes the information, it puts the captions on there. It really takes the guesswork out of it. And so that's a great tool that we use pretty regularly around our office.
All right, this is the final one that we love.
Yeah, let me say, captions for talking video. First off, if anybody is wondering whether they can do video, come on, man. Look at this guy right here with the bald, shining head. I mean, if he can do it, anybody can do it. So one thing I want to talk about is like one of the biggest distractions we have, and some people will complain about, is they'll say, well, gosh, I want to do that, but I can't. I need a script. I need to read a script. So this is an example, because there is artificial intelligence that will take care of this now, where you could be looking all screen. If you'll notice, I'm looking above in this, and I think we're going to play the video, but what you can see is I'm not looking at the camera. I'm actually looking and reading a script that's above the camera in this, and then we're going to show you the differences of how this artificial intelligence can help.
Let's watch it.
The numbers are in for 30A real estate this past month. I'm going to share with you, whether you're a buyer or seller, how these numbers are going to affect your buying potential and also your ability to sell.
Now, the difficulty with this is that we're not making eye contact, so we're not truly connecting with the people that we're trying to connect with. So there's a disconnect there. But artificial intelligence utilizing captions for talking video, you can actually use their AI, the letters AI, artificial intelligence, AI, EYE, eye contact, and you drop that same video in, and we'll show you how it shifts your eyes from up here to where it's looking right into their soul with this next video. This is not. No, that's going to be a different one. But let me just say this: you can see how my eyes are now centered on this.
Real estate this past month. I'm going to share with you, whether you're a buyer or seller, how these numbers are going to affect your buying potential and also your ability to sell.
So you can see it's made the eye contact now, but wait, there is more. This app also has 27 different languages. So in case you were wondering and you think I talk fast now, here's Japanese.
先月の30不動産の数字が出ました。あなたが買い手が多い手であろうと売り手であろうと、これらの数字があなたの買い物の可能性と販売能力にどのように影響する。
First off, let me say this.
I think Jimmy Burgess in Chinese will go a tad bit faster than Japanese, but I think you made a point.
Maybe I should, yeah, I know. And that's Southern Japanese, by the way, just so you know, Raji. That's you can hear it, just even pulls your accent in. This is the day and age we live in. There are no longer excuses about not doing video, because even if you have to read something, you can still connect directly with those folks in a special way utilizing video. So this is one of those great tools that we use a lot. It puts the captions on there it makes it very easy to take where you're just taking a small recorded video and getting all of the details you need. There's so many other features that it has, but this is just scratching the surface on one of our favorite tools.
Yeah, Jimmy, the other interesting point here is if you look at all the stats, Hispanic homeownership stats are rising literally across the country.
Yeah.
And here's a great way. You don't have to hire somebody to do this. You shoot it in English and captions, and voila, you have a video in Spanish.
Exactly right.
So
yeah,
it's a great use case. So all right. So I want to share, and Jimmy and I talk to a lot of agents across the country because of our podcast. And one of the key things we found from agents is, why do they really embrace, whether it's a transformative technology as AI or any technology for that matter, is to really free up time to build memorable experiences with your clients. I want to share a personal story that has really stuck with me, and I've really embraced that philosophy in everything that I do. And this is the story of Lily. Lily was a barista in 2010 at Starbucks in Minneapolis Airport Terminal D. And so the speaker that was sharing the story had an interaction with Lily on Christmas Eve. Jimmy, you can imagine how busy Starbucks is on Christmas Eve. There's all this stuff going on. So Ryan, the speaker, ordered coffee, and Lily was very different than the other baristas. And the reason she was different is she was paying full attention to Ryan, pouring coffee, asked Ryan, how are you doing? Where are you going? On a Christmas Eve now. So Ryan was very taken aback. And so he asked Lily, why are you so involved in customers? You're just simply pouring coffee. And Lily tells Ryan, I'm not just pouring coffee, I'm pouring happiness into people's lives. And when I do that, whenever people go through the Minneapolis airport, I want them to come say hi to me in Terminal D. Now, this was a story from 2010 that stuck with me for a long time. And in 2022, my youngest, that's my youngest, by the way, who's now at Florida State, Jimmy Burgess country.
Go Knowles. That's
right. Go Knowles, yeah. So she got a job at Starbucks. So I shared Lily's story 12 years later with my youngest, Nikki. And I said, look, you can just simply pour coffee, or you could put a smile on your face and pour happiness into people's lives in your job. So this is good to know. File it away. If you have a kid at Starbucks, the parents get a free cup of coffee. Okay. Now, I knew she was in the drive-through, so I drove by, and I didn't announce my name because you get a free cup of coffee. I want to see would she have a smile on her face, or would she not have a smile on her face? So I just saw from the corner of my eye as I pulled in, and I had my camera ready. I was going to snap it, whether she had a frown or a smile, and she had a smile. And I think if she continues to do that, and the reason I share that story, it's close to my heart, obviously, but if you can free up time using AI to systemize your business so you can invest time to build client relationships and really go so far in depth and build memorable relationships, no matter what value conversations is happening in the industry, they're always going to remember. If I remember that coffee experience from 12 years ago, how much time would people remember you for transactions that you've really gone above and beyond? So that's the true essence of embracing AI, to free up your time so you can actually invest it in client relationships.
Yeah, and listen, if that's not the goal, we're using it for the wrong things. If AI could transact, it would put us out of business. The good news is it's not going to ever replace professional agents. What it should do is it should give you the ability to have more professional, personal, and deeper relationships with the existing clients you have, and be able to forge more by saving the time that you're going to save. Now, you want to mention the podcast also?
Yeah, so I mean, AI is changing rapidly. It's a fire hose, let's call it like it is. And our goal is, when Jimmy and I started this podcast early January, our one goal was to provide actionable insights, so to make AI approachable and actionable for all real estate professionals across the country. And all you have to do is subscribe to our show. Every Wednesday, there's a new episode. There's already 15 to 20 episodes, so go listen to it. Even the Chick-fil-A presentation is one of the episodes. And so subscribe and listen to it. We also have a playbook where all of this is something that we put together. And you can go to our website, realestateaiflash.com. We're coming up with a newsletter that you can subscribe to, and there's playbook is right on the menu. And one caution we would have is don't print the playbook, just bookmark it because it changes constantly. And we're going to put all these custom GPTs we're talking about in the playbook, so you'll really not need to spend as much time as we do. And Jimmy and I are really committed to empowering our real estate agents to succeed with AI.
Hey, I still, some of the older folks maybe listening will remember the old song. I'm still wish that you would not have vetoed that our podcast should be a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. That would have been great for you and I to have that together. But yeah, listen, I get the opportunity to spend some time with Rajeev now. When we were first talking about the podcast, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" I was like, "Hang on one second. You mean I can get on your schedule every week and and talk to you every week about what's happening right now and what is the new technology?" I said, "I am in, Rajeev, all day long." So this has been fun for us. Now, listen, we talked a little bit, and I'm going to kind of close with this, if that's okay, Rajeev. Yeah. We talked about in the beginning about, so we're in this separation season. So what do you do in a difficult market? And especially with a market that's changing, technology's changing, everything's changing here, to develop and control three things. This is kind of what Gino has always said: in difficult market, develop and control these three things. The first one is this: develop your skills. Rajeev mentioned taking some time each day and getting to understand this a little better. Obviously, we're going to try to take everything we learn each week and bring it down to a 10 to 12, 15, 20 minute at the very most type of presentation for you as far as AI. But get out there and watch what some other people are doing. Notice what other people are doing on social media, what they're doing with video, what they're doing in marketing homes, and learn how to utilize that. The second step in this process is to control your work ethic. When I first came out of college, I went to work for Merrill Lynch as a stockbroker, and I was the youngest one they had for Merrill Lynch and at that time. And I came into the office on my second day, and I had this mentor who was from New Jersey, who was very direct. And he came in one day and he said, "Hey, Jimmy," my second day there, and he hands me a key, and he holds this key up in front of me, and he says, "Jimmy, this is the key. This is your key to this office." And he said, "I'm just gonna be honest, you're not gonna be the smartest one here." It was a little hurtful, but it's true. I mean, I was young. I was just trying to get started. And he said, "But I will tell you this, if this key right here will turn these locks and be the first one into this office in the morning, and you'll be the hardest working one, and you'll be the one that this key will turn the locks and lock it, where you'll be the last one to leave. If you'll outwork everybody, I promise everything else will take care of itself." To this day, and listen, that may be in your office. I know a lot of us work out of home. Whatever it is for you, whatever that turning of the lock is to you, I would just encourage you. To this day, this morning when I walked in this office, I turned those keys, I turned that lock. I said, "Hey, I may not be the smartest one here, but they ain't gonna outwork me." So I use it to stay focused on being the hardest working, the most purpose-driven person that I know of as far as serving the clients that I have. And then the third thing is this: just control your mindset. Control the things you can control your mindset. The reason I did this, hey, let me grab this over here real quick. I got it right here by my desk now. So if you'll notice, this is a picture of a dirt road. If you've ever been out in the country, you've seen one of these red clay roads in the South. So what I did to control my mindset is I don't ever want to forget where I've come from. Do you realize the problems we have right now? In a lot of cases, we're exactly in the place of the things that we may have hoped and prayed for. And I don't ever want to be the person that complains about the things I hoped and prayed for now that I'm having to deal with some of those things. So what I did is right here on the corner of my desk, I went up, because I'm only 30 miles from the red clay dirt road I grew up on. I don't ever want to forget where that is. I don't ever forget where I came from. So what I did is I went up there, and this is a jar, a mason jar, if you've ever been in the South, of red clay. It's not just any red clay, though. This is the red clay from the house, from the dirt road that I grew up on. And sometimes when I'm the last one here at night, or things get tough, but especially when things are good, I'll come in here and I'll take a little pinch of this, and I'll just rub it in my hands. Because I don't ever want to forget the work ethic that was taught there, the sense of community that was taught on that dirt road, the understanding that family and the value of family, the understanding that if I had a hard work ethic, that I could see success at levels I never thought possible. So I just want to encourage you, as we go through this change, make sure that you're out there and you're a student of the game. Make sure that you're out there and that you're growing and that you're spending time with the right people, and make sure that you're absolutely out here controlling your mindset. Be the hardest working person you know, and I promise everything else is going to take care of itself. Hey, I will say this. This year is going to pass either way. Is it going to be a year of potential, for you, or will it actually be a year of production for you? And you have control of whether it will be one of these two things. So take action at the highest level possible and understand that if you'll do those things, everything else is going to take care of itself. Rajeev, Larry, that's all that I've got for now. And hope everybody got some value out of this. I love being on here with Rajeev. I feel like I'm smarter every time I do it. So thanks, Larry. Thanks, Rajeev.
We all feel smarter after spending time with Rajeev.
That's the truth. I know.
So we got more than we bargained for. This was not just an AI presentation. We got more. So thank you very much, gentlemen. That was fantastic. Thank you very much for taking the time to put this together and present to everybody. So Rajeev, we have something to give away, right?
We do, Larry. And people are posting some questions. We're going to get to a couple of questions. Use the Q&A box. But this is the time for the giveaway. So you need to be present to win. Let's put the rules out first. And I know there are watch parties going on. And if you are at a watch party, it's fine. Just post that you're there when you win. Whoever's controlling the camera there. So, okay. So let's kind of run this. Since it's just one prize, this will be over before we start it. All right, here we go.
Oh, you get the Berkshire Hathaway wheel out.
Yeah, I got the wheel out, and there's hundreds of names in it. I'm spinning the wheel, and here we go. Let's see whose name pops. And they got to post in chat to win. And we'll give it like 5 seconds. All right. Nicole Wolf, are you in the building?
Are you in the house?
Are you in the house?
Yes, she is.
She's there.
Nicole Wolf is here, and you have officially won the prize. So that is cool stuff. 1 for 1. Nicole Wolf, you will receive 1 year of ChatGPT Plus, courtesy of 1031 Exchange, our sponsors.
Congratulations, Nicole.
A prize that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars if
oh my God, yes.
And then some.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So
go ahead, Rajeev.
There's just a couple of questions, Larry, that you can. Yeah. So the first question is from Zarina. Does the information in Perplexity provide updated information? ChatGPT free isn't always up to date. Factual statement. ChatGPT free. Jimmy, as we know, I don't know if the audience knows, 2023, the word of the year, dictionary.com word of the year, Larry, was hallucination, by the way. And the reason it's not a new word. The reason it got popular was because ChatGPT hallucinates. On the other side, Perplexity, the reason we love it for research is anything it spits out, it's going to quote references. So there's no hallucinations with Perplexity. And that is your answer, Zarina. So Audra Wong asked a question.
You're a wealth of information.
What's that, Larry? And Larry, he is a wealth of information. He said you're a wealth of information. I will say this, Larry, isn't it amazing to watch how words have different meanings from the 70s? That was a little different than it is today. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Fun.
So next question, I'm going to throw to you, Jimmy. Audra Wong, who's been very active in the chat. What would you say is the number one thing can we do to improve the quality of our service for our clients using AI for buyers and sellers? Is there any specific AI tool you think would be the most useful that comes to mind?
Well, I think I want to mention a couple different things. I mean, we mentioned our top 5. You can't miss with any of those. I will say if you're looking at what's the most practical and easiest, for me, it's the app on my phone, ChatGPT. And the reason being is it's right there. So anytime that I am looking to post something on social media, I can go in and say, act as the role portion, that Rajeev teaches, act as a social media expert specializing in helping real estate agents find buyer clients and give me a description for whatever it is. I'm just using that as an example. Boom, it pops up. I copy, I paste it over there with my post, and immediately it's SEO optimized, which is helping us. The first time we did that and we utilized it on our social media back last year, we went from a house listing, and this is like a company, one of our websites or one of our Facebook groups, areas for one of our offices. We went from a typical 1,500 views the first time we did this, where we asked it to give us an SEO optimized post with the photos we provided. It got us 40,000 views. Now, what we're seeing now is not that. We're seeing a 15 to 20% increase in what our average was when we use that versus when we don't use the SEO optimized. So use your phone, ask it to help you with those descriptions, and you should see not just an increase in the number, but it's putting it in front of the right people also. So that's just something I would say would be the number one thing I would do.
Yeah, and Julia asked a question about most important apps. We'll put in the follow-up, we'll send you the recording and the apps that we just discussed, and we'll prioritize them if you're like embracing it. The last question we have, and we'll turn it over to Larry, is Joe Lacerda. He does really good video in our formerly New Jersey properties country. He's asking a question for Jimmy. I guess he watches you, Jimmy, on video. How did you develop consistency in your social media posting specifically for video? Do you schedule one day to shoot multiple videos? I think this is a great question to develop habits. We're talking a lot about video. So take a minute to address that, Jimmy.
Yes, and I think, listen, the best way to get a schedule for you is to figure out what's the schedule best for you. I'll give you my entire process, okay? We shoot between 2 and 4 long form videos at one sitting once a week. That's all the time that I spend. So I spend less than an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and I do a lot of stuff. So it doesn't have to be that much for you. But basically, we will sit there and we will have a group of topics. What I do is, personally, is I think of the questions that I was asked that week. So if you're an agent and you're considering what should I be doing, think about the question that someone asked you this week, and especially the ones that maybe you had to think a little harder on how to answer. Those are the questions that you should be shooting the video content on. So for me, I sit and I shoot those 4 videos. Here's the process. Then what we do, what we used to do is then you have the ability to have that broken into shorter form content. That's where all of my short form content currently is coming from, is we have something that's ripping those and putting those for social. We schedule those out. And then also I take one of those videos per week, the one that is responded to the most, or that I know is the most prevalent issue that issues are facing now. And I go and I handwrite. I tried to use ChatGPT to help me write, and it just didn't feel authentic. So I still write my Inman articles once a week based on one of those videos. And then that's how that content is distributed. The process we just showed, though, of taking one piece of content, for instance, and saying, I have a great video about, and saying, how would you suggest I distribute this on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you want to talk to it? Ask the systems now to do that, and it will give you even better prompts than any of us can in real time as well.
That's amazing, Jimmy. I mean, I do videos too for my weekly tips, and I have to put it in my calendar. Otherwise, it's not happening. So I just schedule it, and you got to commit to it. And to be great at things, you got to do fewer things, And sometimes we try to jam too many things, and you just can't be good at it,
I will say, I know there may be some people like do a ton of video, and then there's some people that maybe are just getting started. Understand that it's just like anything else. Your first listing appointment you went on was probably not your best one. It gets better each time. So the more video you shoot, the better you will get at it. Don't be afraid to use the prompts and have a teleprompter and drop it into AI where you get your eye contact. But as you do more, like for me, I don't want to talk about something I don't know. So talk about the things that you know and you have confidence in, and it will help you when you're shooting video also, if you just do the things that you absolutely know, and especially the things that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about helping first-time homebuyers, tell the story of the last first-time homebuyer that you just helped. Talk about the value and the understanding of that. I mean, I can give you a perfect example. If I were back in sales right now and I were going to tell that story, this is just off the cuff, I would say I've been able to assist over 1,000 people in buying and selling homes, but there are just a few of these that really stand out. And one of the most important ones I can remember is that I had a guy that I played sports with when I grew up, and I knew his mom. She was a single mom. He had 5 brothers and sisters. There were 6 of them. And about 5 years ago, after knowing her my whole life, she came to me and said, I've always dreamed of owning my own home. Is there any way you could help me make that happen? And y'all, I will never forget. I get chills just thinking about it. Sitting at that closing table with her. And listen, she was a religious lady that basically sat there, and she had grown up. I'd kind of grown up there with her son being a good friend of mine who was in my wedding. And she just sat there, and if you've ever seen this, she was like, every time she would sign one, she'd say, "Thank you, Jesus." And then she would sign a paper, and then she'd have a teardrop on it. We'd have to wipe it off. And she'd say, "This is the best day of my life." I will never forget doing that. Now, see, just telling that story now, and having the ability to look back on those people that you have felt the most impact for helping. Again, I mean, I've sold places that were $42 million, but I'm talking about a $175,000 home that I helped her get her first home with, and that's the one I remember. So when you're thinking about what should I be talking about, what is it that gets your juices flowing? What is it that you've done that you've helped somebody and you just feel really good about? Share those stories and you'll draw more of those ideal people back to you as well.
Great share, Jimmy. Back to you, Larry. I think we're right on time here.
We are right on time, right on schedule. That is a great story to end this call. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for all that attended. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and go Sixers.
There it is.
There it is. I know.
Take
Take
down
care,
the
everybody.
Knicks, man.
That's
See you, Jimmy.
right.
Larry, thanks.
See you guys.